Judi Island used to enjoy a rich and active life as a teacher, artist, and world traveler. One of the greatest joys in her life was her Lipizzan horse, Gitano.
You don't mind, do you?
But Judi's life would change irrevocably one winter's day in 1993 when the family truck hit a patch of black ice.
The truck went off the road down an embankment. It rolled end over end, side over side, landed upside down. So the entire cab of the truck was squashed right down to the top of the seats.
Judi's sister and their mother suffered only minor injuries.
I think the window must have been broken because I crawled out at the window. Kind of wondered what on earth happened. I got out and I looked and saw that we were upside down the ditch beside the road.
I immediately knew that I was paralyzed below the neck. I couldn't move at all. I knew there was something very wrong. When I was in hospital, I couldn't even move my hand to ring the bell to get a nurse to come and help me.
You don't really want to accept the fact that there's going to be anything really long-lasting or terrible that's happened to your child.
I had a picture of Gitano tacked up beside my bed in the hospital. And I just thought, there's no way I would ever ride again. I had already asked Mom, with tears in my eyes, to sell Gitano. I said, you know, he's too good a horse to waste out in pasture.
When she asked me to sell him, I think I just said to her, well, you never know.
Judi spent a year in rehab struggling to adjust to her physical limitations. The doctors wanted her to use a wheelchair, but Judi was determined to walk again.
I went to physiotherapy every day trying to walk, and it didn't come easy. I wasn't able to feed myself for 6 months. I wasn't able to look after myself in any way.
To watch her walk the first time, I think that was the most difficult thing I'd ever seen. I thought, oh man, this is worse than I thought, and it's going to be a long way back.
A year later, Judi was able to walk but had little strength in her upper body. When she returned to the farm, Judi found Gitano waiting for her. Judi had few expectations for her future, but her desire to reconnect with Gitano was so strong, she reluctantly went to Sunrise, a therapeutic riding center for the disabled.
I would go up a large ramp with some help, and it took 4 people to get me on and off the horse. Then I was led around by one person with 2 side walkers, so that if you lose your balance, you don't come off the horse. It was really difficult for me even to sit on the horse. It totally exhausted me. I was kind of depressed about it all because I knew this was not riding. It was several years before I was riding independently.
With the same determination that got her walking, Judi vowed that she would ride Gitano again.
Gitano was out in pasture for 9 years. Mom fed him, put him out in the morning, brought him in at night. Nobody rode him.
In 1998, Judi called Inga Hamilton, a coach she had worked with at Sunrise.
I was a little reluctant. Any horse that hasn't been ridden even a month, you'd be a little worried to get on yourself. Never mind a disabled rider who is pretty frail.
A lot of horses wouldn't be able to accept somebody like Judi with her disability when she goes into spasm.
Gitano had to learn to ignore Judi's involuntary leg spasms that were strong enough to be mistaken for very confusing signals. In competition, horse and rider are much more than a team. They are, in essence, a single being. All communication is through the connection of their bodies. Judi's lower body no longer sent out familiar messages. But that didn't matter to Gitano. He remembered.
It was pretty thrilling to see how he was with me and that he was so forgiving of my disability.
I think it's just given her another goal, you know. She gives it everything she has, because it's not easy, and it's not without pain that she does it.
Judi and Gitano began to ride competitively, and they won one competition after another. Today, Judi is one of Canada's shining stars in dressage. Judi's also planning to ride for Canada's Paralympic team in Athens in 2004. She'll be there with Gitano.
We have a bond and a communication that I think comes from knowing each other a long time.
And then let him trot on again.
Mom kept him, and I was glad she did. He's always been really good for me. I'm so proud of him.